I'm suggesting some changes to the Sona build I went over in the last video, so if you haven't seen that, go watch it first. It's not very concise or clear, but as far as I know, nobody else has made a Sona guide, so you're going to have to suffer through it. So first, I want to give the motivation for these changes. Like first of all, Sona's W scales extremely well. Leveling it increases the shield by 25 and heal by 20. And even though the AP ratios might look low, it gets down to a 3.3 second cooldown. And second, Athene's is good on her just because it converts damage to healing, but you don't benefit from the Harmony passive because you heal yourself, always. So it would be nice if you didn't have to buy Chalice. And so the changes are to not get Chalice. Instead of finishing Athene's, you just sit on the Fiendish Codex. And instead you go for AP and get a needlessly large rod. And the price is basically the same. It's 50 gold more, but that's negligible. You might be worried about sitting on too many components and not having enough item slots. But remember that you don't need boots, and you can combine the rod into Seraphs, so item slots aren't a problem. You have 10% less cooldown reduction this way, but you can just replace 6 scaling AP blues with scaling CDR, and you end up with the same CDR and more AP. And then the other thing is, like I was saying how well her W scales, you can switch to maxing W after 6. Also, overcapping your CDR if you go super late isn't a problem either, because after finishing Seraphs, you can just build Death Cap and Blue Elixirs for even more AP. Um, so obviously whether or not it's better depends on how much time you spend in combat using Q. Like if you get more Qs off on enemies, maxing Q and building Athene's is better, whereas if you're using abilities but not hitting enemies, both of Athene's passes become useless. And honestly, it's too hard to do the math for this because like who knows how often in a game you're going to be using what skills when. Like maybe it'd be worth it to try to look at it with the API or something, but honestly, you just have to like play with it and see how it feels. So I did do the math for the differences in builds, but it's pretty meaningless without the context of the actual game. And also, I should note that I messed some numbers up in the last video because I forgot to take into account that even without Athenes, you get 30 AP from Codex, but it doesn't matter because no one paid attention to that anyway, so who knows? Maybe it's worth trying. Also, one other change is instead of Dangerous Game, I think either Bandit or Green Fathers could be viable. But yeah, I think the only way to really tell is by trying it and seeing how it feels. I mean, maybe Athenes just feels better, and that's that. And finally, one other option that's not really comparable because it gives no ability power is just going for Locket instead of more AP, which I think can be good because there are certain games where it's just obvious that you really need Locket.